What's up, everybody, and welcome to another Flower Shop Secret podcast. And today, I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of giving attention throughout every step of the floral delivery process. I'll be speaking with Poppy Parsons of Smart Flowers in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, about all that and more. Let's do it. So the big question is this: how can small business owners like us in the floral industry overcome the greed of order gatherers and bypass the deceitful games played by wire services? How do we market, sell, and deliver flowers online so we may break free from these antiquated practices and earn our freedom? Those are some of the questions we will answer on this podcast. I'm Joe Vega. Welcome to Flower Shop Secrets. So thank you for joining me. The first question I have for you is, what made you start a flower shop?
Actually, I was unemployed way back in 1993
Right.
or 1994 and had to move back home with my parents and was playing in the garden and drying flowers and creating all the stuff in the 90s, the eucalyptus swags with the dried flowers and dry floral art and swags and topiaries and things like that. And so my crafty side came out and I started doing little trade shows, little craft shows, and creating those kind of pieces and doing the craft show little tour in southern Saskatchewan. And then, just kind of found out I had a little bit of a knack for that creativity and a knack for flowers, albeit dried at that point in time. But my boyfriend started buying me roses every once in a while, so I'd get some fresh roses and get to play with those. And I took a box of stuff that I had made, and I walked into Smart Flowers in 1993 and talked to the owner, Jim Smart. He took time out of his day to talk to me and look at what my creations were, and he gave me a job.
Oh, wow.
And on the spot. And so I worked for him part-time for a couple years. It didn't work out. I couldn't get on full-time, and it didn't really work. And so I left the industry for a while and always shared that story with people and talked to people about it. And a coworker of mine bought Smart Flowers, and I'm like, that's my store. You can't buy my store. And when it didn't work out for her, trying to do two jobs, she owned it and was the marketer at our local credit union.
Right.
And she phoned me at home one night and asked me if I wanted to buy my store. So.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
it was kind of, it sounds like it was meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what were you doing exactly, because you weren't an experienced designer at that time?
Yeah, and I mean, it just started basically doing the basic stuff for the seasoned designers. There was a lot of greening back in the day, so you pre-green. So you'd take your container and you'd green it for the designer. Washed a lot of buckets. I watered the plants. I answered the phone and waited on the customers and helped process flowers. So all that basic groundwork stuff. The owner had been in the industry for many years and was really respected, and so he had really great processes in place on how to care for flowers and really great procedures in place. So I mean, I learned the very core basics of what flowers were and how to care for them, and slowly started being shown how to do a bud vase and a rose bowl and the very basic things. And probably within a month or so, I was designing more full-time and assisting with some weddings, learning ribboning and all those kind of things.
Yeah. When you finally purchased the flower shop from your friend, from your coworker there, when you finally got the keys and you walked in, how did that feel like?
Oh, basically like coming home. Like That's where I'm supposed to be. It was just, I had worked at that point in time in a cubicle in the finance department of a credit union,
Sounds fun.
Financial institution. Yeah. So yeah, it was just nice to be able to do something creative and get out of the cubicle and own my own business, set my own hours and build the business, and keep that reputation that he really had. I mean, he'd been in business since 1973 as Smart Flowers, the
Oh,
original owner. So
okay.
really well known in our community. So worked really hard at keeping that reputation for sure.
How big is your team now? How many employees do you have?
Well, we live in a small city, so I have a small team. I have one staff member that pre-COVID was virtually full time. So she's just starting to come back into that role again now. So we're kind of easing back into the economy now in Saskatchewan. So she's working a couple of days a week now. So usually there's two of us here on an average day. My staff evolves into more people when required, and I have a core group of 3 to 7 people that assist at holidays, that have for years, that come back every holiday and help us at holidays, or if we happen to have a major event. And I've always had at least one student, so that works after high school or on the weekends.
What else do you attribute your success to?
Oh, sharing knowledge. You have to, you can't just expect your team just to know. You need to share what you've learned throughout the years. And so I give away my knowledge that I've learned. I share that with my staff. I teach them along the way. Involve them in some decisions, involve them in decision making, learn what they like to work with, and I bring that in. If they love to design with Monte Cassino Aster and it's available, that's what I bring in for them, and we mix it up and we change it up based on what we all like to use and design with. Play to those strengths for sure. Um, Success comes from sharing and gathering from other people, so building mentorships outside of my area. Um, and those people share with me, and then I can share with my staff. Hitomi Gilliam became my mentor. She has always had that mindset of sharing her knowledge. She shares her ideas. She doesn't hold back. She doesn't have any floral secrets. And so we built a relationship over the last 12 or 13 years. And to be invited by her to go to Hawaii and just see the growers, the whole experience was amazing. But to be exposed to product that I don't normally get to see because of my small location. It's hard to bring those products in, and shipping is hard. And just to see that and be exposed to something new, it just reinvigorates the passion. We evolve and change all the time. You adapt. As the staff get to try new things, they might be afraid of using a product or trying a new technique, but you adapt to learn something new, and you grow, and keep trying new things, and we work together on what flows best and what maybe doesn't work. And sometimes they end up with skills that I don't have. Maybe I get frustrated with something and maybe they do it well, and so we play off of each other and grow together. You think you know your business and you think you know what's best for your business, but it's that same evolving and adapting. Adapting to posting to social media, getting those pictures out there, and sharing my knowledge about plants.
Cool. So you've been creating a short little videos and putting out content out there, and that's been a working strategy for you right now?
Yeah, trying to do more of it. I mean, I would like to teach more. Being an AIFD and a CAFA florist, I am qualified to teach, and I just need to put myself out there more and remember to take the video or take the photos of the work and put it out there and just gather, interest from the industry. You think that people know the florist is the plant expert and the flower shop is where you go get plants, but not everybody knows that because we stopped telling them that. So you have to tell your consumers what you have and what your knowledge is, and again, back to sharing that knowledge. And so evolving into more plants and, letting people know that we have them has been really an eye-opener for me, and adjusting that. To me, the plants have been there. They're out in the front of the store. They're hanging out in the window when we water them, and we sell them from time to time. I'm pushing it more because people are looking for that more.
but do
Right.
people send plants as a gift as well?
I think gifting is still definitely floral based. I think these are people at home buying for themselves for their own home for the most part,
Right.
and following that trend. You see it kind of all over social media, plants and taking care of something in your house. So it might be the generation that doesn't have children or now are at home and can't get out and they need that something to take care of, perhaps. I think it may be a trend, but if we can push it forward a little bit, it'll stay on trend for quite some time. But I think it's two different markets.
I couldn't agree with you more in terms of adapting and changing. You have to be able to adapt with the times. Florists, at a moment's notice, you have to deal with someone coming in, some guy coming in because they just had a first date and they want to have a second date and everything is great and they're happy. 5 minutes later, you're gonna get somebody else coming in and they're just crying their eyes out because their mom's.
Yeah,
So you have to be
totally.
able to adapt to their emotional state of the customer, and that is like literally an emotional roller coaster ride. So how do you deal with the ups and downs, because they're peaks and valleys, right? So do you get used to it? How do you switch on a dime like
I don't think you ever get used to it. I think it's just remaining calm in all the instances, right? You're the person that can calm the nerves of that new relationship jitters. You can calm that, and you can find just by having a conversation with a 16-year-old boy buying flowers for the first time, it's just getting to know people and getting comfortable with either the happy conversations or the jittery nervous conversations or those sad ones, right? And so it's just remaining calm and taking time and knowing your customer or getting to know your new customer.
Besides the creativity, why do you do what you do?
Flowers say what words can't, and not everybody is blessed with knowing what to say and when. Some of those conversations can be hard. It's hard to pick up the phone sometimes and say what you want to say. But if I can be kind of the person in between to share that message, from friendship and love to sadness to congratulations, the flowers can just say it where you might not be able to. And I can be that person in between, and really over the last couple of months have really actually felt that even more than ever, because I worked alone for 2 months doing everything from all that stuff I used to do back in 93, 94, from washing the buckets and processing. I mean, I answered every phone call. I filled every order. I talked to every one of our customers I spoke to and every recipient I spoke to, and got to deliver every floral arrangement for the whole 2 months. And the joy that you bring when you walk up to the doorstep with a bouquet of flowers, especially during this time,
Right.
it's that let me know why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's you are instantly giving joy. It's a
And
relationship builder, and you get to build the relationship not only with your customer that's buying the flowers, but with the person that's receiving it. And they get to see you and talk to you and spend that little bit of extra time. And so it's huge. Makes you feel good, right? If you're having a down day but you put a smile on somebody else's face, it's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And you just can't help but smile yourself.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. Yep.
So what advice would you give other florists, or someone who's just starting out in the industry?
Learn everything you can. Talk to everybody you can in the industry, um, and be open to new ideas and trying new things, whether it be from a different way to process a flower, a handle a flower or a plant, to learning a new technique. Don't just stick yourself in a box and think that this is what your community only wants is triangle arrangements in a basket. put it out there. Try something new. Learn a new technique, learn a new design, and put it out in the cooler. You don't know. It doesn't hurt to try something new every day. Learn something new, whether it be from your book work to cleaning to designing to dealing with a customer. Try something new every day and learn and
Be open to change.
Be open.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely. You come from a background of finance, so you actually had a lot of experience on the business side. But
Right.
what advice would you have for an artist who traditionally has not had the experience on the business side? Like, how can they get better at that?
I mean, you can always learn from somebody, right? So it's finding people to learn from, and your business, the core value or the core part of your business, your finances have to be in check. Your books have to be in check. It is worth it for you to either pay a professional or learn from a professional.
Right.
If it worked for you to bring somebody in a part-time or casual role to work alongside you with that, look out of the box at who you're hiring. Maybe there's a retired bookkeeper looking for a part-time job that could teach you some of the book work and help you with it, and you could learn from them. Not everybody has the money to hire a chartered accountant to do their books, but you still have to maintain that and find somebody for sure. And learn it as you go, but you do have to take care of your books for sure. It's an important investment. It's the core of your business, so it's worth investing and paying a professional, and maybe learning as you go.
It's a challenge to try to persuade florists to want to learn more about business. Do you have any tips?
Our industry needs both types of leaders. We love the attention of the beauty and the amazement and the show and the stage. And I think it's hard to get those really motivated people to talk about business. And it almost needs to be those leaders in the industry to talk about it. To talk about the challenges openly, just as much as they do about the challenges of designing, and creating solutions for all of it. I think it would have to come from a really strong leader or somebody willing to kind of expose themselves, or expose what's out there and share.
I notice you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're everywhere. Which one's your favorite one, and which one do you get the most engagement?
I mean, they're all quite different. I've had some really interesting interactions on Twitter, to tell you the truth. I think it's given them opportunity to have a conversation with me, and I've gained customers because of Twitter and talking about the Yankees.
I think my favorite part of all this is learning you're a Yankees fan.
Totally. Well, it's, if you put yourself out there personally and let people get to know you, that's building those connections. And, you never have those if you don't talk about it. So that social media is a powerful tool. And sharing a little bit of your life and your surroundings and what else you do gets you to a different audience, and that's what it's about. They don't always come looking for you, so you gotta put it out there.
You have a great business, and I would like to thank you for joining me. And I would love to hop on the phone again or on Zoom and continue our conversation.
Yeah, it's so fun.
All right, thanks so much for everything.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the call.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye.
We want to help your business bloom. Check out more episodes of Flower Shop Secrets streaming now. Flower Shop Secrets is brought to you by Lovingly. Lovingly connects shoppers to local florists all over the US and Canada to help make thoughtful gifting easy and impactful. Visit lovingly.com/join to learn more.